Let me ask you something. Have you ever loved somebody so hard that you started shrinking just to make room for their comfort? You started second guessing yourself, dimming your light just to keep the peace. You showing up, you staying loyal, you holding it all together. But deep down, you tired. Not just tired like take a nap. I'm talking about soul tired. Like you can't even hear your own thoughts no more. That's your spirit whispering, this ain't it. But your heart's still holding on. Like maybe, just maybe, they'll change. Does that sound familiar? Today we talking about when love turns heavy and how to choose you without losing your soul in the process. Let's get into it. You are now tuned in to Elevate with Sage. I am your host, Sage. You could have been anywhere else in the world right now, but you chose to be here with me. And here, we're all about holistic wellness. We're elevating mind, we're elevating body, we're elevating spirit from the inside out. So buckle up, breathe deep. This ain't just a podcast, this a mind shift. Let's elevate. All right, before we get started, I just really want to extend my gratitude to you. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I know this is a new show, but the love and support that I'm getting, man, it means the world to me, and the feedback that I'm getting is amazing. And I know this is just a beginning, and I still got a lot to learn, and I'm still trying to get comfortable doing this, but it just feels so refreshing. I know family and friends, they give me good feedback, but the biggest feedback I get that just really like lets me know that this is helping somebody is when complete strangers tell me like how I'm helping them think differently, or how I'm helping them see something that they never seen before. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm always just an email away. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. All right. So let's get into it. Now, look, this ain't no bash your partner type episode. This ain't break up with him and go live your best soft life tomorrow. This is about getting honest with yourself. See, sometimes the hardest part about being in a relationship, it ain't even the other person. It's realizing how long you've been showing up for them while ignoring you. If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. I mean, I've been there too. I've stayed in situations where my peace was drained, my voice was quiet, and my spirit felt heavy. But I was still showing up every day trying to fix what felt broken while I was breaking too. And the truth is, you can love somebody and still be losing yourself in the process. That's not healthy. That's not love. That's survival. So, today, we're just going to talk about how to flip that, how to recognize when it's time to reclaim your energy, set some boundaries, and prioritize your own healing, even if you stay in the relationship. Because the truth is, not every situation requires walking away, but every situation does require that you choose yourself first. So grab your tea, your journal, your headphones, whatever you need. We elevating today. All right, but let's slow it down right here though. So let's talk about when you start losing yourself, because this part, this is the real checkpoint. So sometimes you get so focused on keeping the relationship alive, you forget to check in with your own heart. Okay, you still doing your part, you still showing up, but inside you feel disconnected, not just from them, but from yourself. It doesn't always mean that you're in a bad relationship. Sometimes it just means you lost touch with who you are. And it can sneak up on you too, man, to be honest with you. So one day you can look around and realize, yo, you stopped doing the little things that used to make you smile. You stopped pouring into your passions. You started second guessing yourself, tiptoeing, or going quiet. Not to keep the peace, but to simply avoid the next misunderstanding. But here's what I had to learn: you can't build healthy relationships if you abandon yourself in the process. So this ain't about leaving, this is about leading yourself back home. Maybe you stay, maybe y'all rebuild, maybe y'all grow together and grow through it together. But first, you got to come back to you. Ask yourself, am I showing up as my full self? When's the last time I did something just for me? Have I been speaking my truth, or have I been stuffing it down? because clarity, it doesn't come from running. It comes from returning to your peace, returning to your voice, returning to your power. But let's talk about the guilt that creeps in. That little voice that says you're being selfish. You changed. You doing too much. But let me ask you this. When did prioritizing your peace become a crime? I just want to know. See, a lot of us, especially those of us who grew up in survival mode, we were raised to put everybody else first. We were taught that love means sacrifice. That real ones, they hold it down no matter what. So when you finally start doing for you, when you finally say, "Nah, I need some rest. Nah, I don't have it to give right now. I'm not accepting that energy no more." And then that guilt in you, it just kicks in like a reflex. You start feeling bad for setting a boundary. You second guess doing nice things for yourself. You feel like if you choose you, you're gonna lose them. Nah, man. Let me remind you, choosing you is not a betrayal. It's alignment. And you need to really just sit with that. Choosing yourself is most definitely not betrayal. It is alignment. So you're not abandoning anybody. You're just refusing to abandon yourself. And that's okay. And let me help keep it all the way real. If your peace, your growth, your healing, if it offends somebody who claims to love you, bro, that's not love. That's just control. It's dressed up in commitment. Because love, real love, it wants you whole, not burnt out, not drained, not erased. And look, I'm not saying to become cold or cutthroat. I'm really just saying this, like, you can still be compassionate and have boundaries. You can still give love, but protect your energy at the same time. You can still be there for others without abandoning your own needs. There's nothing wrong with having a generous heart. Just make sure you're not leaving yourself out of the generosity. You deserve joy too. You deserve space to grow too. You deserve to feel seen and supported too. And if anybody makes you feel guilty for that, that says more about them than it ever will about you. I promise you that. Now, let's get into it for real. We always hear set boundaries, but nobody ever breaks down what that actually looks like in the real world. So let me just paint a picture for you. A boundary is not just saying no, a boundary is saying, this is what I need to feel safe or respected and whole. And then just actually standing on that, even when it's uncomfortable. Sometimes setting boundaries means telling your partner, hey, when we're having a disagreement, I need you to speak to me with respect, not raise your voice. If it gets heated, let's just take a break and then we just come back to it. All right. Or it might mean saying something like, I'm not okay with you checking my phone. If we don't have trust, let's talk about it. But I'm not living in survival mode. All right. But sometimes it can be even more personal. I need one night a week to myself. No errands, no obligations, just time for me to reset. Okay. It's stuff like not answering the phone when you're mentally drained. And you don't have to always just answer your phone if you're mentally drained. Like not always being the peacemaker when you're the one who's hurting. Or not explaining yourself 10 times after you've already expressed how something made you feel. But here's the thing, setting a boundary doesn't mean you're trying to control anybody else. It just means you're taking responsibility for how you show up and how you let people treat you. You might lose some people when you start doing that. But trust me, the ones who respect you, they'll adapt. And the ones who don't, well, they were only benefiting from your lack of boundaries anyway. So yeah, and it's probably good that they just go another way. And I know, to be honest, I know this is not easy, especially for men. I mean, we're taught to eat everything. Swallow your pain, just take it. And for women, society teaches y'all to over accommodate, to always be nice, even when it's killing you inside. So when you finally start speaking up, it's uncomfortable, but healing ain't always cozy. So growth is gonna stretch you. I mean, you may even have to say, man, listen, I love you, but I love me too. And I can't keep loving you in a way that costs me myself. Man, so hey, that's a gem. I might have my wife put that one on the t-shirt. I'm gonna just say it again because that's a strong one. I mean, that's a strong boundary. Like, I love you, but I love me too. And I can't keep loving you in a way that costs me myself. So that right there, that's a boundary that's being born. And the more you speak your truth, the easier it becomes to live in it. So let's really dive into the power of speaking your truth. Let's just go ahead and normalize something real quick, right? Speaking your truth doesn't make you a villain. It makes you honest. It makes you human. It makes you free. But a lot of us, especially if you grew up in households where you had to watch your mouth or don't talk back, you learned early on that silence, it was really survival. You learn how to bite your tongue. You learn how to pretend that something didn't bother you. You learned how to avoid conflict by keeping the peace, even when your spirit, it was just in pieces. And that's survival mode. It followed you into adulthood. It followed you into your relationships, even into your friendships, your job too. So now you sitting at dinner, nodding, smiling, while your chest feel tight and your jaw locked and you screaming inside, but you saying it's fine on the outside. But let me be the one to tell you, bruh, that's not peace, and that's performance. I mean, you should win an award. And eventually, if what you don't say is gonna show up, it could show up in resentment. It could show up in distance. It could show up in emotional shutdown or in tears that just come out of nowhere and you can't even explain why. So now here's where the shift starts. So if you start speaking your truth, it don't mean you got to argue. It don't mean yelling or blaming. It means saying like, "Hey, listen, that hurt me," or "I felt dismissed when you said that. To be honest, I need more from you emotionally. I'm not okay pretending like this dynamic works when it doesn't." And look, speaking your truth, to be honest, it is risky. Everybody's not going to receive it well. You might be labeled as too sensitive or doing too much. But guess what? Listen, truth will always cost you something, but silence, it'll cost you everything. You got to decide, do I want to be liked for who I pretend to be? Or do I want to be loved for who I actually am? And let's make this real for a second. Like, to the men, it's okay to say, I'm overwhelmed. I'm tired of carrying everything by myself. I don't know how to ask for help, but I need it. And even for the ladies, it's okay to say, I'm not happy. I feel unseen. I want to feel safe enough to soften, I'm sorry. But when both partners speak the truth, like healing, it just really has a place to land. It clears the air. It breaks that fake peace. It makes room for real connection. And if they can't handle your truth, well, that doesn't mean you were wrong for speaking it. It just means you were more comfortable with your silence. So speak your truth, king. Speak your truth, queen. You don't have to shout. You just have to stand in it because the real ones, they gonna meet you there. Let's be real. Self-love, it sounds cute on Instagram, but it hits different when you're trying to love yourself in the middle of a storm. When your relationship feels shaky, when your phone dry, when people said, I got you, and they went ghost. When your reflection in the mirror don't even feel like you anymore. That's when self-love become more than a quote. It becomes a lifeline. Because let's keep it a buck, man. Some of us weren't taught self-love. We were taught to sacrifice. We were taught to serve, to stick it out no matter what. So now, doing something for you, it just feels selfish. It feels foreign. It feels like betrayal. But let me shift that for you. Man, self-love is not betrayal. It's a return to the version of you that was never meant to stay drained, depleted, or disrespected. Let me give you some real world examples. Like start going to the gym, not to be sexy for them, but to feel strong for yourself. Book that massage. Sit in silence. Let somebody take care of you for one. Take yourself out to eat. Table for one. But guess what? You bring in peace as your date. Go to that car show or that spa day or the poetry lounge. You know, not to impress nobody, just because it lights you up. Listen, cut your phone off for an hour and just journal what you really feeling. You know, not for content, but for clarity. Even something as simple as standing in the mirror and just saying to yourself, you deserve joy. You don't have to earn rest. You are not hard to love. Listen, that's self reflection in motion. And here's a game changer. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for people around you is take care of yourself first, right? You tired of snapping on your kids? Start taking care of your stress. You mad at your partner that don't see you? Well, start seeing yourself again. You feel invisible? Start showing up for your damn self consistently. Because let's face it, listen, when you pour from a full cup, your love is richer. Your presence is deeper. Your boundaries are stronger. Your spirit is protected. That's not about being selfish, that's about being whole. And listen, I had to learn the hard way. I used to feel really guilty about doing anything for myself. Even the gym, it felt selfish. Even a 10-minute silent break made me feel like I was abandoning my responsibilities. But then I realized the real abandonment was me ignoring my own soul. So now, yeah, I treat myself. I recharge on purpose. I create space, even if it's just a little corner in my closet where I can breathe and remember. Or even if it's me going and sit outside in the sun and enjoying just nature, just sitting there in peace and not being disturbed. I'm not just surviving this life, I'm allowed to live in it. Listen, everybody needs somewhere to be, not perform, not explain, just be. Whether you're a man or a woman, we all need a space where our nervous system can really unclench, where your spirit is just not on guard, where your energy is just not being drained like a cell phone with no charger in sight. Sometimes that space is physical. It's that chair on the porch where you go sip some tea and don't answer no text. It's your car parked in the driveway with the music low and the whole rest of the world is on mute. Or it's the gym where the weights don't talk back and the reps don't judge. Hell, it might even be the damn closet. Matter of fact, I'm recording this right now in my bedroom closet. And let me tell you something, it's perfect because we decided to downsize and we're in a smaller house, just moved to a new area outside of Houston. And this to me was a really good decision and I'm glad to be here, but space was limited. But I did have a big giant closet and this closet is my sanctuary. And I mean, until I get the studio I want, which we working on it, we planning it. Hey, I'm just gonna be in this closet chilling. But I say all this to say this: don't underestimate what a sacred space could do for your mental, because it's really not just about the space around you. You also got to create emotional safe spaces for yourself and your relationship. And that could look like, giving yourself permission to cry and not call it weak. Speaking your truth without sugarcoating to keep the peace. Creating friendships where you say, listen, I'm not okay. And I feel like a burden. Building relationships where silence is allowed and healing is welcome. You see, a safe space is not always about silence. Sometimes it's loud, vulnerable, messy, but to be honest, it's honest. And in honesty, that's healing. You deserve people in your life who don't just hear you, they hold you. And if you ain't got that yet, then start with you. Be a safe space for yourself. Because once you learn to hold space for your own emotions, you'll start attracting people who treat your heart like it matters. So, whether it's a man cave, she shed, a journal, or a walk at sunset, create that space, guard that space, grow in that space. It's not about running from the world, it's about having a place to return to yourself. All right, let me say this real slow, like I'm sitting across from you, like I see you. All right, you are not selfish for needing space. Like, I know you've been made to feel like wanting quiet or stillness or a moment to breathe is too much to ask, especially when everybody's pulling on you, expecting you to keep showing up like you're not breaking in places they never seen or ever even bothered to check. But let me just be the one to say it plainly. You deserve peace, not just temporary silence, not just a night off. I'm talking about sustained, soul deep, nervous system calm peace. You don't have to earn that. You don't have to be broken down first to deserve a break. You can want peace just because it's your natural state, because you weren't born to live in chaos. Just let that land. You're not wrong for wanting to feel safe. Listen, safety, it's not just physical. It's emotional. It's spiritual. It's energetic. You should be able to rest in your partner's energy and not feel like you're bracing for war every time you speak your truth. You should be able to speak freely without walking on eggshells, without planning your words like you're on trial. You should feel like your soul can exhale around the one you love. And if you don't have that, it doesn't make you needy. It doesn't make you weak. It just means that your spirit is tired of surviving. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt safe just to be? Not fix, not explain, not protect, just be. You deserve that again. You're not wrong for wanting it either. I mean, you're not dramatic for finally choosing you. See, when people they've gotten used to you sacrificing for them, your healing is gonna feel like an attack. Like when they've only known you as the one who bends, your boundaries are gonna feel like betrayal. But don't let that stop you because the version of you that chooses self-respect over pleasing others, that's the version of you that's finally walking in truth. You choosing yourself might ruffle some feathers for real. I mean, you might get called cold. Man, you might lose a few people. But guess what? Peace don't come with a popularity contest. So let them talk, let them leave, let them misunderstand because the one thing you ain't gonna do no more is abandon you. So don't let nobody guilt you into staying small. Small feels safe sometimes, but it will choke the hell out of your potential. You weren't made to shrink to fit into a relationship, a family dynamic, or a life that can't hold all of who you are. You have permission to grow so much that even you shock yourself. You have permission to glow without dimming to match somebody else's shadow. And if anybody making you feel guilty for wanting more, well, they weren't meant to go where you're headed anyway. So release that guilt and keep your growth. So start showing up for yourself and watch how your world shift. Let me break it down slow. Like start saying what you actually mean. Start doing things that bring you joy. Start resting when your body says stop. Stop leaving. Start leaving when your soul says this ain't it. Start creating space in your life that feels like you. I mean, that might mean booking a massage without guilt, going to the gym not for looks, but just for sanity, or buying a concert ticket, pulling up solo and vibing out without apology, finding you a barber or going to get you a facial or find you a quiet hiking trail, anything, building your man cave, your she shed, or your little sanctuary in the damn closet if that's all you got right now. Whatever that looks like, just show up for you because the world is always going to demand more from you, but it'll never refill your cup unless you do it first. So whether you stay in that relationship or eventually outgrow it, you'll know that you made the best decision from a place of healing and not hurt. And that's the part most people skip. They leave from a place of anger or they stay from a place of fear. But you're learning to rise from a place of wholeness. You're doing the inner work. You're facing your patterns. You're learning how to love before requiring someone else to do it. So whether you stay or go is not a reaction. It's a revelation. I mean, you'll know when it's time because the version of you who's fully full, they don't settle for empty love anymore. And that's elevation. Not the kind that shouts, not the kind that posts about it, but the kind that shows up in how you carry yourself. That kind that quietly shifts your spirit or sharpening your discernment, softening your heart without making it foolish. So take this home with you. Real talk, you are allowed to heal. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to choose you over and over and over again until peace is no longer a guest in your life, but a permanent resident. So let me leave you with this, right? Some of the most powerful transformations don't start with a decision. They start with a whisper, a quiet voice that says, I deserve more than this. I want to feel free again. I don't want to spend the rest of my life pretending like I'm okay. So if you hear that whisper right now, don't ignore it. That's not weakness, that's your soul knocking. That's you finally coming home. But before you go, I need you to hear me on this last part. All right, this episode wasn't made to convince you to walk away. It was made to remind you of who you are, to help you clear the fog so you can see your worth with clarity again. Because sometimes we get so wrapped up in fixing, providing, staying, surviving, that we forget to check in with the version of us who's been carrying all the weight. So let me ask you, when's the last time you did something just for you? Not for the kids, not for your partner, not for appearances, just you. When's the last time you walked into a space and didn't have to shrink, didn't have to explain, didn't have to tiptoe around someone else's comfort? See, healing it just starts when you realize you're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to speak with truth and not tremble. You're allowed to say no even when they don't like it. You're allowed to outgrow the version of you that just kept on pretending that everything was okay. Okay. That ain't betrayal. That's liberation. And I know some of y'all listening right now, you fighting battles behind closed doors. You smiling on the outside, but mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, I mean, you're tired. I see you. You've poured so much into people who barely see you were empty. And it's time to stop waiting on someone else to choose you. Choose yourself first, every time. Then watch how everything around you shifts. I mean, here's what I want you to do. If something in this episode hit your spirit, don't keep it to yourself. Send it to your best friend, your sister, your brother, your partner, or just send it to somebody you know that's silently struggling right now. Play this with your person. Talk about it together. Don't just listen, build from it. I mean, create a new agreement with each other, a new rhythm, a new type of honesty, a new kind of support. And if you feel like you walking through this alone, just know you're not. I'm here. This podcast is it's not just a performance, it's a lifeline. Hell, I'm healing too, just like you. So if you want to connect, I want to hear from you. I mean, you can hit me up. Email elevatewithsage1 at gmail.com or my link tree, Elevate with Sage. It has all my social media links. Reach out, tell me your story. Let's build together. And if this helped you in any kind of way, please rate it, review it, share it. I mean, this is how we keep, the message moving. This is how we help more people choose healing over hiding. And finally, just breathe. You made it this far, which means you're already elevating. I mean, you're already taking your power back. And I promise you, that's the first step to everything changing. So keep going, keep growing. And when it feels heavy, just come back here and listen again. I mean, you deserve to be seen. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be whole. This is your season to choose you, and I'll be right here every step of the way. So until next time, stay rooted, stay rising, stay real, and let's elevate. Hey, if this hit you, share it. Send it to somebody going through the fire but still choosing peace. New episodes dropping weekly, and every time we going a little deeper. This ain't just talk, it's transformations. I'm Sage, and this is Elevate with Sage. Until next time, I wish you nothing but love, peace, happiness. Let's elevate.